Hello, this is a case that was posted on Twitter where there was difficulty in planting in one of these three branches. And I think it's a perfect situation for the use of the vein selectors. And so the idea behind the vein selector is that you choose the shape based on the angle of the takeoff. And so we have these three different shapes: the standard, the vertebral, and the hook. And in addition to locating and advancing a wire into the target vein, remember that vein selectors are designed to be advanced deep into the target vein to serve as a rail over which the subselector is advanced. So here you can see we have our vein selector deep in the branch over two wires, and that allows us to rail the subselector over the vein selector into the branch. So going back to this case, you can see that there's this branch here that seems to be well suited for the vertebral shaped vein selector. And then this branch seems to be well suited in terms of angulation for the standard vein selector. And then the more acutely angulated one might be better suited for the hook vein selector. So it's sort of interesting that all three shapes were illustrated. So if we were to decide that we wanted to put the lead into this branch, then we would choose the vertebral vein selector, and then we would put the vertebral shaped vein selector inside a subselector. And in this case, we could use any subselector, but I like the renal LVI subselector for merit. So we would telescope the vein selector inside the subselector. And then, of course, we would attach the vein selector to the contrast injection system, and then go in and locate the ostium of this branch here with a puff of contrast, and then gently engage the ostium of the branch, and then advance a wire. And then once you get the wire in, first wire in, then you would advance a second wire, again with the idea that you want to get your vein selector deep into the branch to serve as a rail over which to advance your subselector. So you get the vein selector into the branch, put one wire in, then advance the vein selector a little deeper, and then holding the vein selector, you can advance the subselector deep into the vein, and then and one of the wires is removed, and then the lead is implanted. So this is sort of a nice example of how you can use the vein selector, any one of the three shapes in this particular case.